It's a lovely good morning to you. This is a radical farmer right here at Organic Farm 7. So today I'll be sharing with you something very important that I've seen, for a very long period of time, and that is how you survive in your old age. How you survive in your old age. If there's one thing that I'm so scared about is, struggling in my old age. So I'm going to share with you based on what I've observed in this life and what you can actually do to make sure that in your old age you're not struggling that much. Number one, it is the issue of making sure that you have got skills. You need a set of soft skills and also hard skills. And now these are skills that will help you to leverage even outside the employment zone. There are so many people that can only be useful in a company setup, or maybe in the government setup, or in an organization setup. Once they are out of that setup, they become so irrelevant in this life. So what I may say, as a human being living on this planet, you need skills that will help you be able to survive even outside the employment setup. You need soft skills. We're talking about, knowing maybe how to, do presentations, knowing how to make websites, knowing how to, communicate, be a public speaker, knowing how to advise, consultancy, knowing how to solve problems. You can even offer counseling in your old age, and you can even do mentorship. But when you master these skills of, these soft skills, it may be video editing, it may be, videography, anything that is of relevance in the society and also in this life. Then also you need a set of hard skills. This can be, maybe welding, it can be, plumbing, it can be bricklaying, it can be mechanics, it can be gardening, landscaping, it can be maybe, farming, it can be maybe let's talk about maybe driving, but having a sound soft skill that is needed everywhere. And this is going to help you survive. And the funny thing about life, life does not care about your, maybe your parents were rich, maybe you were holding a very high position, or maybe you are very educated with a PhD, with a master's, with a degree. Life doesn't care. It will put you where you actually belong if you don't have these set of skills. And these are skills that you have to acquire at your early age, in your 20s, in your 30s. But I will guarantee you, when you have a set of hard skills and soft skills, these skills will help you leverage outside the confines of employment. Like I give you an example. I retired when I was 25 years. By the time that I was retiring, I knew how to make a website, I knew how to do digital marketing, video editing, photo editing, driving. I knew about solar installation, farming. I can graft trees, I can run a nursery, I can run a business, I can communicate, I can mentor. I have more than 20 skills put together, and right now I'm learning, I'm perfecting my welding skills. I innovate different ideas. I can make essential oils, I can do landscaping. Like right now I even know how to service a vehicle. Now these skills can open doors in so many ways, to the point that even when I'm not working, I'm still relevant and very useful in the society. I can find a fit anywhere. Even if Farm 7 was going to fail today, it can be very easy for me to find a job somewhere that is paying me well to take care of my family. Then once you've done that, you are set for the next phase. So the next phase is where now you start investing, because you need money to invest in something that is tangible and something that is sustainable but doesn't need your presence that much. So number one, you can invest in land. Buying land is one thing that actually is very safe for you as you get in your old age. So when you buy land never depreciates, it always appreciates. When you buy land 10,000 this year, next year you can even sell it for 20,000. At the very year you can even sell it for 20,000. So buying and acquiring property that doesn't depreciate is very good. You see, there's a very big difference between land and a vehicle. A vehicle depreciates, it can be stolen, it is very volatile. But when you buy land, it can be very far. These feather places that you see, in the next few years they're not going to be feather anymore. They're going to be, because the population is increasing and people are acquiring land. Where I am here, years back it was a typical village, but right now people have bought land around and everything. And when you have land, you have an asset that you can leverage on. When it has got title, you can use it to get a loan, you can use it to finance something, because you can use it as collateral. It is a very, very powerful asset that I would encourage every breathing human being to actually have. Secondly, you know, the soft skills and the hard skills, they will help you generate money to invest. You don't invest with a loan, you invest with the money that you've generated, with a skill that you have. Those skills will help you generate money. And I've told you, there are some people that are only useful. Maybe let's say, for example, you're working as a teacher. The time you stop being a teacher, you are very irrelevant. You may be a doctor, you may be an accountant, you may be an engineer, you may be working in the government, you may be HR. But now the question is, when you stop working as HR, what are you going to do? So these skills must be developed, and you know, trust me, you remember these words when you don't do them, and the earliest time that you do them, the better it is going to be for you. Then the second thing that you can invest in is actually, you know, real estate. Like, let's say, for example, you can invest in a house. You can invest in a house, but it will take time for your money to come back, but you're guaranteed that actually you always have people that are looking for rentals. So strategically position your house in a place where you can rent it out to a company or maybe to an individual, and you know, your money will be coming back. Even in your old age, you still be getting rentals. You can have 2, 3, 4 houses. You know, most of us, we invest in the stomach so much. We buy expensive food, we buy expensive clothes, we buy expensive phones, and these things, they depreciate. And you know, like food, it is a one-day thing. Phones, they can break anytime. But you know, when you discipline yourself and you invest in a fixed asset like a house, you know, it is going to be it's actually a current asset, because it is going to, you can either sell it, but at the same time also to be gradually generating money to sustain you in your old age. And the good thing about a house, you may be crippled, you may be old, you may be sick, but tenants will always actually be paying you so that you actually are going to be living you know, a better life. So what are we saying? These are things that you have to be thinking about when you are still young, and you start investing in them when you are still young, not waiting until you get a pension. You know, pension and you know, all these money that you get, it's not something that can sustain you, you know, for a long period of time. Many people squander their pension money, but when you invest your money in a house, you can start gradually. You can maybe give it yourself a target of building a house in 5 years. You can do it. Don't compete with anyone. Don't compare your life with anyone. Run your own race, okay? Then thirdly is actually investing in your children. There are so many parents that, you know, don't care for their parents, and you know, they think when they take their children, that is it. And many children have been lost by thinking that when they just go to school, that is it. I would say, you see, taking our children to school is like 5% of what we are supposed to do. Our children must be trained from home to be useful, to be social beings, to be, you know, relevant beings. But at the same time also, they must be taught skills on how they are going to be. Taking your children to preschool when they are still young, they are 2 years, you may think it is a solution, but trust me, it's not the best that you can ever do. Investing in your child, being with them, showing that you love them, they are going to reciprocate the same care that you give them when they are young. And you see, this is not something which money can do, and this is not something which anyone else can do. There's a part for school, but there's a part which a parent has to ingrain and instill in a child, and there is no one who is going to do that for you. So investing in your children is very, very critical and very, very useful, because your children have got the capacity to suck all the money you've been working for all the years. They have the capacity to destroy all the wealth that you've built over time. They have the capacity to stress you to the point that you're going to die with hypertension. They have the capacity to steal from you once you haven't trained them very well. And also the very children, you can take them to school, they can have better jobs. But if you are not caring for them, if you are not spending time with them, if you didn't show them love when they grow up, these are children that neglect their parents because they are paying back what the parents were giving them. If you are very busy to attend to your children also are going to be very busy to attend to you. When they are very young, you are leaving them in the hands of the maid to care for them. They are also going maybe either to take you to hospices where they take care of old people, or maybe they are going to take you, they're going to hire someone to take care of you, just like the way you hire someone to take care of them when they are still young, when they need you the most. That affection, that bond needs to be built on. So when you invest in your children, you're also investing in your future. I've seen parents that have taken care of their children, they have given them the best, and when they are old, the children do the same because it is ingrained in the bloodline, it is in the bones, in the flesh and everything. The Bible is very clear on this point. It says, you see, you will reap what you sow. Any seed that you're planting is what you're going to reap. Then lastly, I would encourage you to invest in a farm. You see, a farm is a very powerful tool. A farm has the capacity of taking care of you. When you invest in a farm, then you invest in water, you invest in a solar system to be pumping the water, you invest in fruit trees like the way we've done here at Organic Farm 7. In your old age, you may not be able to sell the fruits, you may not be able to sell the house, but trust me, you're going to have a home that you're going to be so happy with. You'll be able to eat, you'll be able to produce, you'll be able to welcome people because you have a home. I know old people that had money, but they don't even have where to stay. They don't even have food to eat. They are living like vagabonds when they were living very good lives. And trust me, when you do these things, trust me please, when you do these things, your life is going to be sound, your life is going to be meaningful, and even when you die, you're going to be buried in your own land. If there's one thing that I've vowed very clearly, I've told my family, when I die, I don't want to go to be buried in Leopard Hills where every Jim and Jack goes. When I die, I want to be buried in my land here at Farm 7. When you read the Bible very well, when the people of old, before they died, they prescribed where they're going to be buried. They prepared their graves where they're going to be buried. But nowadays, when you talk about your death, you say, no, he wants to die, he is what? But even Jesus himself was buried in the grave of Joseph from Arimathea. And that grave was already prepared. So even where we sleep when we die should be very, very respectful. And you have to plan your life very, very, very well. Your life should be very clear. You don't just have to be waking up, you don't know what you're going to do, how you're going to live your life, and all those things. Now, what I've shared with you can only make sense to people that think about the future, people that care about the future, and people that care about their well-being and their well-being of their families. But trust me, when you put these things into practice, your life is going to be at ease. Your life is going to be enjoyable. Your old age is going to be enjoyable. You don't have to be struggling in your old age, running up and down, doing the things that we are supposed to do in your youth, trying to see which business works. By the time you're old, you must have figured that out already. Hiring people to come and connect positive and negative for your solar panels, hiring someone to come and change your oil. By the time you're old, you should have figured out all those useful traits around. And even your children must know those things. I train my children how to work with solar, how to work with the vehicle, how to maintain the yard and everything. When they grow up, I don't have to be hiring people actually to be doing the things that my children are supposed to do. But I've seen homes where you have youths and they're doing nothing. To fix a pipe, you have to call a plumber. To dig a trench, you have to call a plumber. That shouldn't be the case when you've invested in your child. So school will not do that for you, I can guarantee you, because schools of nowadays is just theory. The days that we are growing up, we are privileged. We used to slash, we used to go to the field for the school. We would do so many things that were very, very productive. But nowadays, you give children a whole, you say it's child abuse and all those things. But the point I'm stressing here is, see, you have to secure your future very well. And it is never too late. As long as you are alive, you've realized that you need to do this, you can start working on that now. Stay blessed and stay super, super organic.